So this is our advanced inspection that we use in our assembly test area. What we have here is a class tester TIU. This board tests, the board itself tests CPUs. This is for Meteor Lake in our assembly test area. What we're doing is automating the inspection of the board that does the testing. So in this case, the board has failed. It's come back to our repair facility. And before, we'd have to manually inspect this. So we'd have technicians, possibly multiple technicians in shift, whose sole job was to inspect the socket, inspect the board, make sure all the screws were there, inspect the connector. Now with a cobot, and camera, we use computer vision to detect the different things, object detection, and then deep neural networks to do the learning and classify the object. So whether it's a bent pin, broken pin, burnt pin, FM in our socket, missing resistor, all that stuff is now automated. So our process has gone from, say, 20, 30 minutes of intensive labor to 5 minutes where the technician can set it, walk away, and go do another task. The key to all of this is really using the cobot. So this is made to be used with humans. As Kayvon, our chief global operating officer, has talked about the moonshot effort of automating our factories. This really inhabits the 3 different vectors that he's talked about, which is driving labor efficiency, cost efficiency, so reducing the time to repair, and then leveraging machine learning to do that in cobots. So we've replaced a manual, menial, labor-intensive task with an automated task with machine learning that learns new defects as we go, while enabling that technician to go somewhere else. So, we may talk about it as a reduced labor to do this thing, but now that labor has transitioned to something else, and we're better using our existing headcount to repair things faster, more efficiently. Well, this is purely internal to Intel, so we're using this in our assembly tests ourselves. So as a foundry, we're using this to make sure that when any customer, currently Intel, comes in, that our hardware meets their requirements and has their quality. So this is purely an internal Intel product, but to make sure that our external offerings, our services in Foundry, are capable and mature going forward.
Is it pre-trained or you need to train it?
It is not pre-trained, so we have a process where we take golden images up front, and then that starts our model off. However, every unit, we have a GUI that the technicians interact with, where every time we run this, every defect we find, they'll classify it, valid, invalid, what type. And so as we go, we're creating that training data on the fly. So we start out with a small sample size initially to get it going, and you're okay early on in development with maybe under-triggering, over-triggering, and then as we go, we get tens to hundreds of these a week that we go through inspection. And so we very quickly build up that training reference to continually train the model. So we use Converge.io for the ML ops, and then it all runs locally on, this one's an Alder Lake CPU, but we use OpenVINO to really optimize it for our Intel CPU use case.
So you're building AI hardware with AI.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Of course.